Hi, my name's Emma and let's talk spooky stuff. Hi friends, it is March and I am so excited because this month, Ty West's new horror film X drops in cinemas. But this video is not about cinema releases, it is about what is hitting VOD, so that's video on demand, streaming platforms, hopefully near you. So today we have a long list. I'm very excited to get into it, and if you don't know, my name is Emma. I'm also known as Spooky Astronauts here on YouTube, and every single week I do 2 videos talking about horror movies, giving you lots of recommendations to what might suit you, and also doing deep dives along the way. If you'd like to join me, I'd love to have you here. Hit the subscribe button, but without further ado, let's jump into what's hitting VOD this month because we do have a lot. So let's start with my highest anticipated for the month, Shining Vale. Courtney Cox took a dip in the horror pool and liked it, so she's back for more. Now she stars as the lead in comedy fantasy horror Shining Vale. Of course, with a name like that, there's no doubt where this is going. The film is about a family that moves into a house with a grisly past, but no one but Cox's character Pat seems to notice. And now she begins to show symptoms of depression and possession, which to her seems like the same thing. There's a lot to unpack here. Obviously, the metaphor of mental illness within horror is something we explore time and time again, but it's still very interesting to see this brought out so openly. I'm so keen to see what this one is like. Shining Vale premieres on the streaming platform Stars on the 6th of March. If you don't have Stars in your country, make sure to check out to see if it is streaming on an equivalent platform. We don't have it in Australia either, so just keep your eyes peeled. I'm sure it's going to come to a platform near you. Hitting VOD on the 1st of March, Hell is Empty is a cult horror about a messiah that initiates a teenage runaway into his cult of sister wives. But he chose to mess with the wrong woman, and when she begins to question the leader, others follow, resulting in deadly consequences. The independent horror looks to be a slow descent into madness, but a must for any cult movie fan. Again, Hell is Empty is out now, so check out VOD platforms in your country. The Seed is a horror comedy that hits Shudder in most countries on the 10th of March. This film follows a group of friends who get together to watch a meteor shower in hopes of growing their social media following. But the meteor brings much more than a show when creatures start to appear. This is a bizarre mashup of creature feature meets social media in the 21st century. The film looks delightfully campy, and I'm hoping it plays into that. Check it out on the 10th. Pieces of Her is an 8-part miniseries starring our queen, Toni Collette. The thriller crime mystery is about a daughter's life who is turned upside down when her trip to the mall with her mother turns violent, suddenly changing her perception of her mother and their relationship. The series is based on a novel written by Karen Slaughter. The violent Netflix original series hits the platform on the 4th of March. March 17th brings The Bunker Game, a bizarre horror that involves a live-action role-playing game where participants play the survivors of an atomic war. But reality creeps in when a group of actors find themselves trapped inside the set, which is a bunker. Sealed underground, they must now fight for survival as something paranormal picks them off one by one. Can I be honest? I'm not really sure about this one, but I thought some of you would find it interesting. So if you do check it out, please let me know what you think. I'm hoping it's gonna have an interesting payoff. It hits Shudder on the 17th. Asking for It is a chilling revenge thriller where we follow a small town waitress who is sexually assaulted and then befriends vigilante gang Cherry Bombers, who target and fight violence against the innocent. The film stars Vanessa Hudgens, Kiersey Clements, Ezra Miller, and Luke Hemsworth, among others. The film hasn't even been released yet, and it's already ruffling people's feathers. Catch this thriller on the 4th of March when it'll be released on VOD platforms and in select theaters. I'm gonna be honest, I was not sure whether to talk about the next one because it's very controversial, but let's get into it. You can see the title on the screen. We have seen this forest mentioned time and time again in horror films, but what changed my mind about this one is the fact that Takashi Shimizu is the director, and that draws my interest. This is the original director of The Grudge and the remake, obviously a Japanese director as well, which I think will work best with this story. I'm honestly still not sure how I feel about it, but the plot follows a group of friends who open a mysterious box that unleashes a curse virus that spreads to those around them. Now they must find the source, which leads them to the forest. The film has had a rocky road to release, but will be available on demand in America from the 1st of March, and then on the platform Screenbox from the 6th of May. Fresh is a bloody comedy horror directed by Mimi Cave. The film stars Daisy Edgar Jones and Sebastian Stan and is about the horrors of modern dating seen through one woman's defined battle to survive her new boyfriend's unusual appetites. I've seen some reactions from this one when it premiered at Sundance. From what I know, it's more of a light horror with shocking aspects. Either way, I am so keen. Fresh is a Hulu film and will be released on the platform on the 4th of March. The next film we're going to talk about is The Exorcism of God. What a title, but the trailer isn't half bad. The film premiered last year at Fantastic Fest and the reviews are, well, as you can see here, mixed. But I'm a sucker for a religious film and it's an excellent day for an exorcism. The film is a co-production between Mexico, Venezuela, and the US. The Exorcism of God is about an American priest working in Mexico who becomes possessed and in turn ends up committing a terrifying act. And 18 years later, the consequences come back to haunt him. The film will be released in select cinemas and on-demand platforms on the 11th of March. Ready for something a little bit more upbeat? All My Friends Hate Me is a comedy horror riddled with anxiety. The film is about Pete, who is anxious about reuniting with his college friend group for a birthday weekend. And then the worst happens. One by one, his friends turn on him. Is it all in his head or is something actually wrong? The UK film looks slick, fast-paced, dark, awkward, and above all, unique. I am very keen to check this one out. It will have a limited cinema release on the 11th, followed by a VOD release on the 25th. Definitely mark this one down. Offseason premiered at South by Southwest Film Festival, and people said the film had major Silent Hill vibes. The film follows a woman who receives a mysterious letter and travels to an isolated town to find its source. But once she arrives, she becomes trapped inside a nightmare. The film stars Jocelyn Donahue, who you may recognize from Dr. Sleep and The House of the Devil. I'm really interested in this one. The trailer looks really chilling. The film will be released in select cinemas and on VOD from the 11th of March. Ultrasound looks to be a mesmerizing night of hell as we follow Glenn, a man whose car breaks down, setting into motion a strange chain of events that cause him to spend an odd night with a married couple that changes his life forever. This is a slow, atmospheric horror sci-fi, and the trailer is hypnotizing. The film will be released on VOD on the 11th. Sin Eater hits DVD and VOD on the 15th of March. This is based on the folklore of the same name. The film follows Christine, a woman who is on the run from her past but suffers a terrifying injury. Becoming stranded with a dark secret, she must face her demons head on. This film marries body horror with religious themes. It looks pretty unnerving. Are you up for the challenge? Mark your calendars for the 15th of March. Slow, unnerving Irish horror You Are Not My Mother drops on the 25th of March. Set in North Dublin, the film follows Char, a girl whose mother goes missing. But when her mother returns, something is not right. Now Char must get to the bottom of the mystery of why her mother disappeared and what secrets she's been guarding. I think this one will suit a midnight showing. It looks really dark and creepy. Night's End is a film that I really wanted to talk about today, but it does not have a trailer yet. It should be coming very soon, but you'll see why it's very enticing already. The film is about an anxious person who unwittingly moves into a haunted apartment, hiring a stranger to perform an exorcism. I'm both intrigued and confused. But what sold me on the film is Jennifer Reeder is directing, who did Knives and Skin and VHS 94. Her segment in that was Holy Hell. Either way, these pictures are all we have at the moment to tie us over until the 31st of March, when this film will premiere on Shudder. Please keep an eye out for it when the trailer drops. That's all we have today, but I do want to mention The Scary of 61st, which I did a review on last year, is hitting Shudder this month for people who didn't get to check it out in cinemas. It will be on Shudder in the US, Canada, and the UK from the 3rd of March. All I can say is good luck. It's not for everybody. You have been warned. I would recommend checking out my review to give you an understanding of what you're getting into, because I had no idea. Anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic day. And if you did find this list helpful, please give it a thumbs up. For my patrons, I have put up this list on the Patreon, so you have an easy guide. My Patreon only costs $2 a month and you help out this channel. But of course, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel by watching my videos, by liking my content, or by sharing them with a friend. You do your part. So thank you all so much for being here, and I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you very soon. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye, friends.